What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction. #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. I am back with another omnibus review. This is Star Wars Darth Vader by Karen Gillen. And this was out of print for a bit. Came back into print just recently. This is the new printing as of May 2022 when I'm recording this. And it is comprised of Darth Vader 2015, 1 through 25, and Annual #1, Vader Down #1, and Star Wars 13 and 14. Now, these are part of the Vader Down crossover. The Annual was kind of its own one-shot. And it's got a story of Darth Vader kind of after A New Hope, where he's blamed for the failure of the Death Star and getting it destructed and all that. Now, there's one more Darth Vader omnibus, which is by Charles Soule, and that actually takes place in between episodes 3 and 4. I believe it came out after this. You can read them in either order. It really doesn't matter for things. But if you're trying to read it in chronological order, you probably want to start with that one, then get into this one. If you want to read it in publication order, I think it's this one, then that one. That's how it goes. All right. It's got a beautiful interior art on the below the dust jacket with Vader right here and some characters on the back. Neat stuff. I really like the design of these omnibuses. Now, this is about the right size of omnibus for me. If they get much bigger than this, I find it hard to hold. 25 issues actually works really well. Now it starts out with Darth Vader kind of on a hunt, and the art's beautiful inside also. I think it's done by Salvador Larroca, if I'm correct. Salvador Larroca, yeah, 1 through 12. And then he does the whole series. Pretty good. Always a solid artist, just very cinematic in the way that he does things. And we have Vader basically dealing with some bounty hunters, and he gets with Dr. Aphra. Now, I know they're trying to build up Dr. Aphra as a character, and they eventually give Aphra her own series in the sort of Star Wars universe here. But she's basically helping Vader track down things, build some droids. He ends up building this like droid army. He builds kind of a sort of a what do you want to call that? A flip side, the yin yang of C-3PO and R2-D2 with these characters. This is 000, and these are deadly droids who really just want to kill people, be dark side. And there's a lot of Vader killing people over the course of things. Now, he's out of the Emperor's graces, as mentioned, and he's tasked with finding the boy of Skywalker. And he's also trying to kind of figure out his own way, because he doesn't want to give Skywalker really to the Emperor because he knows the truth and all that. And at some point, he meets these other characters who are abominations designed by Tech to kind of replace Darth Vader. And these characters end up being kind of Darth Vader's nemesis over the course of this series. They're working to betray him. He's kind of betraying them also. He's hunting down people on behalf of the Emperor. Solving different crises for the Empire. I just love how consistent the art is through this. Not really having a fill-in issue really helps just keep this flowing very nicely as you read through here. But over the course of this omnibus, there were like 4 or 5 of those characters there. Vader kills kind of one at a time over, basically 5-issue arcs when he gets into this. And unroots, basically that they had their own ambitions for taking over the Empire, and gets back in the Emperor's good graces. Here's this sort of anti-Admiral Akbar, who's kind of a bad guy. Then we get into Vader Down, and Vader actually finds the rebels and ends up in a trap of theirs, and they shoot his ship down, and they're trying to go after him in the middle of the desert. And so this crosses over with the main Star Wars line, which Jason Aaron's writing at the time, and Vader just rips through all these people. This is a really fun storyline. But you kind of see what's happening with Luke and Leia and Han over the course of this, which is kind of in the middle of that time period in between movies. And eventually, Vader escapes and they capture Dr. Aphra. in the Rebels. As you can see, this guy's here on behalf of the Empire, and he betrays Vader on the planet. They go at each other. The Rebels escape because the bad guys are going at each other. Vader wins at the end of the day. Now, in the last, there's 2 more arcs. There's one where he goes to a planet where there's like this mining rebellion going on. This is the weakest arc of the whole series. It's fun, but it's just kind of weaker. And he ends up seizing back control of this for the Empire. The problem is with this is that you know that's going to happen. So it's like there's not a ton of drama on that level. Now there's these twins that are a part of these like abominations, and he rids the world of one of them. Actually, one of the twins throws the other into the lava to show how bad he is. I'm real bad. Then he takes off, and this is where the Emperor says, you know what, that guy's a traitor to the Empire. Why don't you bring him back and redeem yourself? And Vader does so. So they have a big fight. Dr. Aphra comes back. She tries to ingratiate herself to the Emperor. And Vader ends up killing the bad guy. There's some beautiful space fight scenes in here too. You see he's got like this like cloning chamber, and this kind of alludes to the Emperor's later also. And Vader has to kill him a couple times. And that's it. He actually throws Dr. Aphra out an airlock, but she gets rescued real quick in Star Wars fashion. And that is pretty much the end of the omnibus right there. And I guess it leads right into that Dr. Aphra Volume 1. So this was solid. Kieran Gillen's writing is super fast-paced, which I really like. There's a pretty sparse dialogue, lots of pretty pictures. Salvador LaRocca does a great job. And, I mean, if you want more Star Wars, this is way better than any of the recent movies. I gotta say, this is pretty up there. This is solid storytelling, 9 out of 10. They could just take this and make it a TV series. It would be way better than the Book of Boba Fett. So, don't know why they don't do that, but, you know, someone made a great comic book and a great omnibus out of it. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and we'll be back soon.